Welcome back to my channel and another episode where we're going to be diving deeper into personal growth. It's the new year, and the best way to kick it off is by having a vision board, or a manifestation board that I like to call it, all planned out and ready for you to achieve your goals throughout the year. Now, at the start of the year, everybody talks about goal setting, rebranding, having a glow up, doing all of these crazy things in order to reinvent ourselves in the new year. We're all about becoming the best versions of ourselves, but one thing I've noticed over the years, and this has happened to me over and over, that when I don't set myself up right for the year and set myself up for success, I always fail. I end up falling off the bandwagon, and this is because my goals aren't very clear and I am not actually seeing them every single day and taking on board exactly what it means for that goal to come true. So, as I said, you'll probably be seeing all over your social media glow up for 2026. Do these 26 things to rebrand in 2026. And what I want to tell you today is you don't need to be doing all of this stuff and listening to all of these people on social media about 101 different things that you need to be doing in order to rebrand yourself, set yourself up right for the year, and have a glow up. All you need is some really good goals that are personal to you, you have emotion behind them, and a bloody good vision board to help them along their way. So the fact that you're here, you know what time it is. It's time to dive in. So, when we talk about vision boards, what we need to first understand is these have to be personal to us in order for them to work. The biggest mistake that anybody can make is by just shoving any old photos together and thinking that that is going to bring us what we want. You're not thinking about the actual emotion behind the thing that you are picking to put on your board. It's not personal to you, and it doesn't actually mean what you think it would mean when you see it. So, all this is actually doing is taking you further away from your goals. You may even be guilty of this. I know I was at the beginning of my vision board process, and I know that by just putting on any random photos and images is not actually going to get you what you want in the long run, because it isn't exactly what you want. So, what we need to do is we need to be really clear on exactly what our goals look like. So, in order to do that, we have to start with the goal setting. So we need goals that we believe that we can obtain and we are fully behind. A clear understanding of what that goal looks like, what that goal will smell like, how will it feel when you touch it. All of these emotions are going to be what makes that goal so important. This is why when we're picking our images for our vision boards, they have to be personal to us, and it has to relate to a goal that is absolutely what we want and we believe wholeheartedly that we're going to get. This will be similar to any sort of text that we put on our vision board as well. If it's something that isn't actually aligned with us or what we want, then what is the point of it being there? So, today we're going to be walking through exactly how you can build out your vision board so it actually works and you manifest everything that you want to manifest. For a bit of context, my 2024 vision board was absolutely on point. I was able to really tap into exactly what my goals were, really get emotionally behind them, and they manifested tenfold. So, the biggest one on my vision board, and is where I'm going to be referencing for when we're building out our boards today. This is my house that I am in now. This was my dream, to be able to purchase my first own home and my dream first home by myself before I turned 30. I had a massive list of non negotiables and I knew exactly what I wanted down to the finest details. And I believe that is what got me here even quicker than if I just had tried to manifest the house on its own. So, when I'm talking about building out a vision board that actually works, I do know a little bit about what will make it work to what won't make it work, because I've experienced both sides of this. The first few vision boards that I ever created, they didn't really do me any justice. There was only a few things on there that I truly believed that I could achieve and were an actual goal of mine. Some of them were more just things that I had been noticing that I liked and I thought that I wanted, but they didn't really resonate with me. And that is why they never came true. However, this changed to when I built out my 2024 vision board. This was a epic vision board. And I managed to manifest near enough everything on that board that year. And it was just so crazy to me how making a vision board that actually works there is science behind it, and there is reasonings that we have to do what we do and put the work in. It isn't just shove a few pictures on a canvas or on your phone background and it's going to come true. There's a lot more work that we have to do around that, and I was living proof of this from my 2024 vision board. So let's jump in. The first step that we have to do then is setting our goals for the year. Now, I like to take at least 10 to 15 goals when I am planning out my year. Now, these can vary between smaller things that I want. So, say I wanted to just go on a day trip somewhere, to things such as buying my house. Now, there are things that you are going to want to do. Say you wanted to go to the Harry Potter studios in London, and it was something that you have wanted to do forever, but you've never had the chance to. That is a reason that you can put this on your vision board, because it means something to you. So when we are thinking of our goals, we are thinking of things that really resonate with us and make us feel something. So when I was thinking of my house, I knew that I really wanted this goal. It was a massive goal of mine because I was living with family and it was very overcrowded. I didn't feel like an adult. I felt very much like a teenager again, living out of my parents' bedroom and having a curfew, having to be quiet. There was so many elements as to why I wanted my home, and I feel like this is exactly what made me push through all of the hardship that I had throughout that year and actually make it manifest and be exactly what I wanted it to be. So you can of course do a vision board for the whole year, which is the standard vision board that a lot of people do, or you could do monthly boards if you want. Whatever you feel like is going to work for you, it is completely up to you. What I find though is having a vision board for the whole year will allow them things to come true in whatever month that they are needing to come true. We are opening ourselves up to the work of the universe, and we are allowing the universe to bring us the opportunities when we are ready for them. So as I said, I write down at least 10 to 15 goals that I really want to do that year, and there is a certain way that I do this, so let's go through that now. So I ask myself a few questions. So the main thing is, what comes to mind of something that I have really wanted in my life that for one reason or another it hasn't come true? So this could be simple things as I would love a designer bag. That was another thing that I had on my vision board, but before I turned 30. So luckily my birthday is at the end of the year, and I mean right at the end of the year. So it is on the 31st of December. You couldn't get any closer to the end of the year if you tried. So for me, my vision boards work right up until my birthday. This worked really well. When I was turning 30, obviously that was the end of the year. My goal was to purchase my own home and then also to have my first Prada designer bag. And it was something that I have always wanted and I have lusted over for such a long time, that this is why I made sure that it was on my vision board, because it was something that was meaningful to me and nobody else would get it. Nobody else would understand why I wanted that bag so much, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, why do we want it? So, when picking out your goals, make sure you're asking yourself, what is it that I have really wanted and haven't been able to achieve so far? If this has been something that you have wanted for a long time, or you thought you wanted for a long time, then one thing we need to ask ourselves is, do we still resonate with that? And do we still even want that thing? Are we actually feeling connected to it? Or is it something that has actually kind of fizzled out? Is there an actual reason that you want it? So, where it came to my house, there was a reason behind it. I felt like a child. I was living with 5, 6 other people. So, 6 of us in a household. It was cramped. There was not enough room for everybody. It was hard to even cook a dinner. Them sorts of things are the reasoning behind why I wanted what I wanted. And it has to be strong. So when you look at this goal, you know why you want this goal and you know why you're working towards it. Another thing to ask yourself is, what will it mean to me when I actually have this goal? How are you going to feel when you have this goal and you have achieved that thing that you have been praying for so long? So once we have picked out our goals, we then go on to the selection of imagery. Now, this may seem quite simple, but I just go to Pinterest for this. you can go on Google. There is so many different websites that you can find free imagery on, or you could even be cutting this out from a magazine. You could be printing things, and you could be making a physical mood board, vision board, manifestation board, whatever you want to call it. You could be making this physically as well. Personally, I go onto Pinterest because I find that they have so many images, and you're bound to find something that is very detailed and connected to exactly what you want. You can search for pretty much everything on Pinterest and it will give you an aesthetically pleasing image. So before we are picking our images and searching for what we want, the main thing I find that is best to do is to take our goal and think about, what is that as an image? What does that look like to me? So say that let's go back to the fact that I wanted my house. So when I was thinking of my house that I was trying to manifest, I knew every detail. So when you are actually thinking about your goal, what does that look like to you? So say that you wanted a brand new Mercedes Benz car. What you would do is you would find the car that you actually want. Now, there is no point just putting on a car of that brand because that's not going to mean something to you. You need to be going after that one thing that you actually want and finding an image of it. Even better would be you actually going and sitting in that car and maybe taking a picture of yourself in it. Even just a hand on the steering wheel, anything that is actually going to make you feel like that is yours and that is something that you can get, is exactly the sort of images that we're looking for. So when you found all your images, what I would suggest is popping them all into a folder on your laptop or on your phone, wherever you're going to be then designing your vision board, and keep them all together so you can then refer back to them. We are looking for at least 2 images for each of your goals. I would suggest probably about the 10 goal mark for your actual vision board. So make sure that the goals that you're picking really relate to you, really mean something to you, and you're emotionally connected to. Having 2 images of each goal on our vision board is going to just help us feel that emotion a little bit more and start to get excited about the goal that we are trying to manifest. So for me, I like to then plan to do my vision board in Canva. This is the free version that I use. I don't see the point in actually wasting your money and paying for paid versions of things that you don't need to. If there is a free version out there that is perfectly fine for what you need, then use it. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is actually choosing our canvas size. If you paid for the pro version, you can then amend the sizing later, but I wouldn't suggest building out your vision board without having the correct size of what you want to begin with, because otherwise you're going to then be chopping and changing images, cutting bits off of the sides. It's not going to work if you try and then just resize it later. So personally, I like to put my vision board on my phone background, on my laptop background, and then also on my canvas that I have hanging in my office. So this is my canvas that I have hanging in my office, and I have designed this in a way that it's actually going to suit me. So when you're planning out your actual vision board placing of your images, make sure that it's going to be working for you. So as we're going to be placing things on, say, our phone to a canvas, we are obviously going to need different sizing for that. So what I would suggest is build out your vision boards with what you want to do with them. So if you want to put your vision board on a canvas like I did, find the website that you're going to pay to get that canvas printed and see what sizes that they do, and then what's going to work best for you in your space before you start creating your vision board. You will also need to adjust sizing if it comes to your phone. So obviously that is such a different size compared to the canvas. So when I did my canvas, I then took that image and then resized it onto a new document for my phone. I hope this is all making sense. So once you've got your canvas size figured out on Canva, then all we need to do is start dropping these images into place. So if you've never created a vision board before, then what I'm going to do is pop one on screen now for you that I made earlier, just to show you some placing of how you can bunch together images for each goal, and then also how you can bring in some text to that as well. You don't want to go overboard with the text, but you do really want to bring in things that are going to mean something to you, and say consistency is your word for 2026, then I would suggest putting this on your vision board because it is something that you want to be reminded of every single day. So whenever you see your vision board, you will then see this and remember that you're being consistent this year. If you are a bit unsure about how to place the images in a way that's actually going to be useful, then one thing you can do is just search for vision board templates and see what other people have been doing, see what works for you. I know that I did a lot of experimenting with how I was placing images around, how aesthetic I was making them look on my vision boards, and the one that actually worked the best was when I actually just dropped it all in. Make sure you're playing around with the sizes of the images and you're giving it a chance to actually speak to you. You're not rushing through this process. You're taking your time to really understand what you want to be seeing on your vision board, how you want the images to feel. If you have a few images of things that are going to be a bit more calming and tranquil, put them together. So when you are actually looking at your vision board, you're starting to feel that you're getting that calm emotion blowing through you. You're feeling tranquil and you're starting to understand what that actually means and that feeling that you're getting from that goal. This would then be similar to anything that is going to be a bit more hard work, a bit more boisterous on your vision board. To say buying a new car or buying a house, saving money, that's a bit different to learning yoga and reading more books, if you see what I mean. So we want to be trying to keep certain things together and making the vision board flow all the way through. So when we are looking at it, we really know what we are needing to feel in order for that goal to come true. Once you've played around with the images of your vision board, then all you have to do is export it and then display it absolutely everywhere. Obviously, if you're going to be putting this onto a canvas, they will have a certain document type that you will need to export your design for. So when it came to building out my canvas, I know that they wanted the JPEG export. So what I did is once I'd finished my design on Canva, I then downloaded and exported it via JPEG, and then I was able to upload this, and it's come out very well considering I just screenshotted things from Pinterest. Make sure that you are displaying this everywhere that you are going to see it every single day. So the whole goal of doing a vision board is so we are seeing it every single day. So seeing our vision board multiple times a day, we are getting into our subconscious mind. The more we see our vision board, the more we feel the emotions connected to the thing that we are seeing. We are going to start believing that that thing has already come true. When we are doing this in the morning and the evening, our brain is in more of a sleepier, theta state. This means that our subconscious is going to start taking on new beliefs. So the more we tell it that we have these things, the more that it's going to then bring us opportunities throughout the day. We're going to notice more opportunities coming our way for these things that we are trying to manifest. Remember, whenever we are looking at our vision board, we want to be making sure we are feeling the emotion of that image. We are taking time to sit with how we feel and imagine ourselves in that situation. So when we are taking these images, we are making sure that, say it is you in the car, you're envisioning yourself actually having that thing. You're driving that around every day. You are actually engrossed in the fact that you have the item already. This is why imagery is so important, because when we are using our vision board, we need to actually start feeling the emotions of what that thing is going to bring us. And we need to just start getting on board with the fact that we already have it. We are technically tricking our mind into believing that we already have the things that we are seeing. So this is why our vision boards are so important to be seeing every single day, multiple times a day. So one thing that I like to do is obviously have my vision board on my phone, on my laptop, and on my canvas in my office. I work from home 3 days a week and I'm in the office 2 days a week. So when I work from my home office, I want to be able to see that vision board all day long. I know what I am working towards, and I know that that is going to happen because when I see that image and when I'm seeing my full vision board of exactly what I want to achieve for the year, I can feel it. I feel it in my bones. So then when I'm not in my office all day and I have to go into the office, I still want to be getting them same feelings and I still want to be seeing my vision board constantly. So then that is why I have it on my phone background. This is something that you're picking up multiple times a day. So why not make it work for us? You're ultimately going to be programming your mind into believing that you already have the things that you want, and you're setting yourself up for success and them opportunities to roll on in. We're then going to take note of the things that are coming to us that are going to be aligned with that goal. If we're putting things on our vision board that don't truly align with us, we're not going to notice these opportunities that are going to start arising. And that is the problem. When people don't understand why we use a vision board and how we use a vision board, they then start to question, doesn't work, manifestation doesn't work, all of this woo-woo stuff doesn't work. And the problem is they don't know what they're doing when they're building out their vision boards. That is why it doesn't work. So taking the time to really get clear on your goals, making sure the images actually relate to something that you want and you can see yourself having, and then taking the time to look at your vision board multiple times a day, in the morning, in the evening, affirm what you want, really feel the emotions of the images that you are looking at, and really evoking them emotions of having it now. And how would you behave if you had that? How excited are you feeling at the fact that that thing is coming to you and you are actually manifesting that every single day? I hope this video has been helpful. Let me know your takeaways in the comments, and until next time, keep manifesting your biggest goals.